Welcome to another episode of Thoughts of a I'm sorry, goodness. Becoming a techno wizard. I'm not gonna cut that out. That's just how it is. Gonna jump right into it. I didn't read anything of information architecture since last week, so gonna start right where we left off. Luckily, and 15 minutes. Let's go. When you're dealing with large information systems, polyhierarchy is unavoidable. As the number of documents grows, you need a greater level of pre coordination using compound terms to increase precision, which forces polyhierarchy. For example, Medline cross lists viral pneumonia under both viral diseases and respiratory tract diseases, figure 10 24. So, yeah, you have diseases and it has both of them under there, and they both lead to viral pneumonia. Figure 10-24, Polar Agreement Line. Yeah. Wikipedia is another large information environment that makes extensive use of polyhierarchy. At the footer of most articles in the Wikipedia website is a box with links to the higher levels in the hierarchy that list that particular article. Figure 10 by 10-25. You can see all these categories here. In the classification and placement of physical objects, polyhierarchy causes a problem. Physical objects can typically be in only one place at one time. The Library of Congress classification scheme was developed so that each book in a library could be placed and found in one and only one location on the shelves. In digital information systems, the only real challenge introduced by polyarchy is representing the navigational context. Most systems allow for the notion of primary and secondary locations within the hierarchy. So that's interesting. The fact that polyhierarchy um, is just impossible or not really easily done with physical, things, and that's how a lot of information architecture was kind of created or um, organized before the age of computers. But now that we have computers, you can just copy, any piece of data, put it anywhere. You can easily have, play something that's located in different areas and things like that. So that is an interesting aspect. And in the beginning of this book, they mentioned how um, in the early, I think, 1800s or 1900s, people thought that this was the end of information architecture, right? That we discovered all there was to be about information architecture and about, how information can be organized or needs to be organized or whatever. Where have you heard that before, right? In the last century or so. But then computers hit, and there's been so much data, so much information that it completely changed, right? How information was designed and how information is organized and architected, right? To the point where we even have entire places made of information. Like a website is a place made of information. That's not all it is per se, but that's what it is. Unlike in a room or a physical location, you can be here and have the only information could be books or posters or whatever, right? But in a website, literally your entire website is just information. So it fundamentally changes how you organize that information and the importance of organizing that information. So this is super interesting. Faceted classification. In the 1930s, an Indian librarian by the name of S.R. Ranganathan, I hope I pronounced that right, I'm so sorry, created a new type of classification system. Recognizing the problems and limitations of these top down hierarchical solutions, Ranganathan built his system upon the notion that documents and objects have multiple dimensions or facets. The old model asks the question, where do I put this? It's more closely tied to our experience in the physical world with the idea of one place for each item. In contrast, the faceted approach asks the question, how can I describe this? Interesting. So the old model asks, where do I put this? Because it's only one of that item. But the new model is like more about, or the faceted approach of that new model, how do I describe this? And that's especially important as you get into different customers, right? Different audience groups, different people that's going to be coming into your website who needs to understand what message you're trying to send, right? You have to figure out how to explain to them what your website is all about, what your information here is saying, and you have to do so in a way that is appeals to the target audience that you want, but also hopefully does not put off the people who might could be your target audience, right? Who maybe aren't your target audience, but could be adjacent and could be converted and things like that. So very interesting. Like many librarians, Ranganathan was an idealist. He argued that you must build multiple pure taxonomies using one principle of division at a time. He suggested five universal facets to be used for organizing everything: personality, matter, energy, space, time. Oh, yeah, that's five, and time. So I wonder, hold up. In what context? I guess in just, I guess as a library. Yeah, I'm trying to see what context is, because you already see right now, like these seem really kind of strange. These seem kind of super specific towards maybe scientific articles about certain things, or like in a regular website, or in a, or if it's an Amazon, or you know Google system, like you have a Google Drive with a bunch of data, or if you have, an I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, any of these ways that you organize information, that definitely doesn't really classify everything. It's not really a good way to classify everything, if I might, think say so, or just how I'm thinking about it so far. Maybe I might be completely wrong. Anyways, in our experience, the faceted approach has great value, but we don't tend to use Ranganathan's universal facets. Instead, common facets in the business world include topic, product, document type, audience, geography, price. Yeah, that's a little bit much closer to the type of things I was expecting and things like that. Still confused about facets? See Figure 10-26. Here, we're applying the structure of a fielded database to the more heterogeneous mix of documents and the applications in a website. Rather than the one taxonomy fits all approach, we're embracing the concept of multiple taxonomies that focus on different dimensions of the content. So you have simple hierarchy, such as Yahoo model. Yeah, multiple hierarchies, which is a faceted model. Interesting. Single hierarchy versus multiple faceted hierarchy. Yeah. So yeah, with the single hierarchy, um, I'm not sure what they mean by Yahoo model. I don't. I've never been on Yahoo, so let's see if it's still the same. Try to figure out. Well, I had a Yahoo email way back in the day, like everyone did, but I never really used Yahoo specifically very much. This is something. This is something. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. We have, I guess these are your articles. These are news, media stuff, trending. Um, let's go to Subway. Let's see if we can find here. So goes down one level, and this is the article. Does it go down any further? I don't think so. So maybe they just changed pretty drastically, because this seems more like the multiple hierarchies, where you have the higher one and then one step lower, rather than keep going down and down and down. So maybe this is the later one. I imagine this is kind of like Craigslist, maybe that type of thing, where you have a directory, and then you can keep going further and further down. Craigslist. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Try to look up apartments there, because finding actual apartments is pretty tricky. Okay, let's go. So you have this here. So I guess you can kind of call this as one. Let's start from the beginning though. Oh, so this is interesting though. The geo Craigslist. So already this is a hierarchy, right? You had that geography like he was pointing out before, and then you can get into closer geography type of thing, and then you have another level, which is like these different topics, right? Which is he also pointed out there, topic. Then you can go into, like, I guess you can call these products or something like that, right? So if you go into one of these, boom, you have the listings. These like your products, and then you can go further, and boom, you get to the actual description or whatever. So yeah, I think that's like a good example of a single hierarchy. I mean, it's still multiple hierarchies, but has a bunch of levels in there. So that's interesting. Wine.com provides us a simple example of faceted classification. Wine has several facets that we commonly mix and match in our selection process at restaurants and grocery stores, as shown in Table 10-3. Okay, so we have the type, which is red, white, sparkling, pink. We have the region, which could be, any of these places, the winery, and the year. So different ways that you can, organize the wine, and different ways that you can, and price, right? So different ways that you can organize everything, that you can kind of get an idea of how everything comes together, and how to search for it or how it's organized. Like I imagine on their page, maybe you would see, these are different ways in which you can search for wine. Let's see. So I might, before I even get there, I imagine it's going to be something like, here's a type of wine, and you can search it by category, you can search by price, you can search by, location, or whatnot. And of course, you're going to have visual design behind it, but let me see. Maybe if you go into one, you can go straight into the product, the type of wine. I wonder if they'll do it, similar to Craigslist as well. So, you can see all the wine from that location, there. Or I'm trying to think of how many levels you would need to have for wine. So say for instance, would there be like a geography, and then a by taste or by color, then by winery, and then by whatever, or will it just be by geography and then boom, all the wine, right? And there's different ways that you can reorganize that. So if you want to, you can go back up to the first level and say, instead of geography, look for, price, and then boom, all the wine, right? There's two different ways you can do that. So let's see what they did. Okay, these pop-ups are not good. All right, so boom, yeah, right there. You see the variety, the type of wine. You see the region. Discover, this is basically by price and other stuff. Gifts. So they put that all in the navigation. Let's see on their page here. Um, I'm not really sure what they're trying to say. Easy does it. Refreshing white wine. So I guess it's like offerings they have. Best sellers. So boom, you go right to the product. And this is, I guess, bestsellers. You can kind of think about that as a price, or as a I don't know. How would you how would you fit that here? Maybe audience, or document type. That's interesting. So these are the types as well. Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry for my background. This is why we wait so long to do a video. Sometimes there's always stuff going on with my freaking family. I have a large family. It's hard to find time where it's quiet. So doing it whenever. All right, so let's continue. Note that some facets are flat lists, e.g., price, whereas some must be represented hierarchically, such as type. When we look for a moderately priced California Merlot, we're unconsciously defining and combining facets. Wine.com leverages a faceted classification to enable this experience online. The mega menu shown in Figure 10-27 presents various ways to browse, providing multiple paths to the same information. Yeah, that's just what we just looked at. Oh, look, and theirs is even. So this was obviously way before they changed this. So here they had all the wine, and then in that mega menu you can see what you're doing here. But as you can see with the new one, they break it out into variety, into region, and discover. So they probably discovered that it's faster for people to find it by, hey, I want to search by region. Hey, I want to look at this whatever. So that's very interesting. The advanced wine search shown in Figure 10-28 provides the ability to combine facets into the rich type of query we usually express in natural language. The results page, Figure 10-29, has our list of moderately priced California Merlot wines. Note that not only are we able to leverage facets in the search, but we can also use the facets to sort results. That's exactly what I was talking about there. Um, so let me see, how does that come up? I wonder if that's still the same. Does that come up when you click one of these? Let's see, loading up. Nope, these are just the. So it goes right to the products. Okay. But yeah, you can see here still, you can separate our region, our rating or price. Let's see if you search something. Um, very low. So it's the same thing here. So maybe they just changed it from what they have here. Oh, that's my 15 minutes. So we didn't get to do much reading. Sorry, but I guess that's a good way to end it. Anyways, but yeah, we'll end it there. I'm probably gonna start reading this again because I have a little bit more time in the mornings now. Um, as always, thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought, what you think, what you got from this, what you learned from this, if anything, and what you think about this kind of process of me sharing my learning experience and things I'm reading and watching and all this other stuff. So I don't know. Sorry for the noise once again. Have a great day. See ya. Bye bye.